interviews,
Okay.
and that's what I was editing before we started talking.
So, my name is Mabika. What's your name?
From Congo, right?
Congo, yeah. What's your name?
Dark Matter. So Matter,
Mother.
but Dark Matter is how I met you. So this
so
was
before
2019.
2019.
Yeah.
How many times you showed up at Bootlegger?
Plenty. I used to be a regular, so speaking to people was normal. And I remember how warm you were. Sabika?
Mabika.
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 Now I'm not gonna forget you.
You met Malika in your world, in your life?
Yeah, never.
Never met Malika?
No, is that a common one?
Oh yeah, Malika is common in Arabic world. Shout out to Malika Tirelien. And then voila.
Cool, man.
So yeah, actually now I start having flashes of, but as we're gonna talk, probably I'm gonna remember even more.
Well, I know you because you're a big energy.
Big energy.
Yeah, like when you're performing, we know it's you, and
When I'm performing, we know it's me.
yeah, it's distinct.
Explain. It's a suffocating or it's uplifting and.
No. I immediately said no because it's a good thing. It's a really good thing. I mean, I came here for coffee, but I like seeing you better. That's energizing. Yeah, it's really refreshing. Yeah.
I see. That's very interesting because that's the problem for me being here in Montreal.
Okay.
What is we're celebrating 50 years of hip hop. Some people generation have to learn hip hop in university. Others with their skin color, you learn from the university of the clubs, the international and everything. And there's a little war happening between. I learned at McGill, and I do not tolerate that your energy that she said it's warm and everything. So that's what I'm actually dealing with right now.
Yeah, a cultural war, huh?
I don't know how to call it. It's like there has been a long process. I'm not gonna be mentioning this generation, that generation, and the other generation. Overall, this 25 years generation, just voilà quoi.
I like how you're involved. You're so deeply involved. You care about it so much that you even call it a war. You know, you're so mindful of the influence that people are getting. Like, you're so mindful of the culture. So that's special, man. No, that's what Cypher was for me. People that cared, as people, like, that's where the culture was in Montreal, I think.
Culture is everywhere, and culture in Montreal. Then after there's the Crips and the Block, there's East Coast, West Coast. It's the definition of, and last time since we're in North America, I think there was also a little culture that did a war between North and South. But I digress.
But you like talking about culture. That's what you love.
Culture, because that's what makes us. And you see, you saw me, I saw you. Then right away we connected within the culture, and that's actually the core. Then I was like, ooh, I think we're gonna have a talk. So therefore, it's very important to archive this and to make it proper. And that's a culture talk basically. And. What is interesting about this culture, I have had 2 children with a Japanese woman, and then through this culture, today we can say the best dancers are South Korean or Filipinos.
Is that why you had kids with a Japanese
No,
woman?
I have kids with a...
I want them to be dancers. That's so funny.
That's gonna have to be a topic for some other time since we're into this culture. No, because having kids with the Japanese, actually you're right, see the Congolese from Geneva with the diplomatic background, kind of, as soon as I arrived here, I was attracted by the Japanese woman in general, because Congolese traditional and Japanese woman, it's the same culture. Now, if you're Congolese and you live elsewhere, so that means you got too westernized. And if you're too westernized, you tend to go with either sisters with wigs, it's another culture, or that's why we cannot mix topics because it becomes crazy. And then we were into the culture and music, and voila. But before to go into these, is like, you tell me, since 2019, what you been up to?
Dark Matter is my artistic identity.
So what is Dark Matters?
I love that. I love Dark Matter. I love when people ask me what my name is. I love when I have to explain myself. to explain what my dark love message is all about.
So what is your dark love message is about? And it's very interesting that you're saying dark because there's a certain gentleman called Black Thought that brought me into the movement, and I was the person that I can proudly say that I was into the guest list of the Roots for 25 years.
Oh yeah.
And then Black Thoughts, and then some Congolese diplomatic incidents, political situation with Mobutu. That little Black Thoughts core made me Dark Thoughts.
Yeah.
And then the energy that you feel that's uplifting and everything, it's almost like Charles Baudelaire's spleen and ideal. If your day-to-day it's a spleen, it's a spleen. So that means your ideal is when you step on stage. And when you step on stage is the only time that you remember your father, your mom, who you were in Geneva, your happy place. And that's exactly what you've been talking about.
Yeah.
And then separation, child support, and the ugly aspect that Montreal could give you with that you speak French in a certain way, we speak French in a certain way, therefore there is a little war happening. When I'm into my happy place, there's none of that, and that's our culture. It doesn't matter if you do drill in Lingala, it doesn't matter if you Kid Frost rhyming hip-hop in English, it doesn't matter if you South Korean having tattoo like Lil Wayne, having the gimmick of Lil Wayne, it doesn't matter. That's the culture. And when we tap into the culture, it's like we represent a generation, and that culture still need to last till 50 years, and that culture is supposed to be lasting till another 50 years. So when we tap into that culture, we are all equals. It doesn't matter if you learn the culture at McGill University or if you learn the way that the creator of that culture learned by grabbing the microphone and making sense out of it. And that's what I'm always going to be stepping and staying close to that definition of a culture, because it doesn't matter where you go. It's still the same culture.
So you're still creating, I imagine. This is something that's really important to you. Yeah. What's your artistic identity? What's like your projects? How can we find it? That's good.
Okay, so I'm on the verge of leaving North America to reconnect with myself, and it's gonna have to be turning this computer off and having a cultural shock in Japan.
Okay, you're leaving in Japan.
I'll be living in Japan, and I'll be living in Japan and fixing some situation in the Congo. So I'm gonna be be in Africa, Congo, Japan, Congo, Japan, Congo, Japan. Coming back in Montreal for a specific reason. To go back again. That's what I'm gonna be doing.
Okay, cool.
So probably when I come back, I'll stay in Montreal a month or two, and then totally gone. Voilà. So
are you going to still be online? Are you going to
oh
be
yes,
producing content?
I'm still going to be online. All my Instagram and everything so far, it's me in Montreal. But when I will travel, like Mabika key and everything is going to be on hold. I'm going to be creating a whole new account which new blog, since it's gonna be shutting off the 25 years that I have spent here and reconnecting with myself, with new people I'm gonna meet. And if the people from the old accounts wanna join the new accounts, it's gonna be more than welcome. But I'm gonna be creating a day and night situation. Like my stay here was the night, and the rest of the stay in Africa and Japan is gonna be the day.
Okay. For those who are interested, though, what is your account? Like, what is the name of your account, and like, what can we look up?
Mabika Key Music. For music and martial arts. There's Team Kumbu for martial arts.
Yeah.
And then there's mixcloud.com/Vogel. I'm gonna send you the information so you can edit.
Hell yes.
And voilà.
Yes. So you do martial arts?
I've been practicing martial art for 40 years.
Yeah,
I've been
like
training
what kind?
40 different styles.
Okay, but what are some of the top priorities in martial arts? You don't care, or do you think about striking, or do you think about grappling?
Now, for the last 3 years, we've been fighting with all the TriStar, the Apex, all the schools of Montreal, sending their students at Bellator, UFC, PFL, or Glory Kickboxing.
Yeah.
They're professionals.
I know this. I know all of this. Yes.
And then we do smokers.
Yeah, I know that too.
From smokers, we do amateur. And as we actually talking, I'm supposed to be meeting from Silvertooth Promotion because Chris, the Spirit, the recording artist, he's fighting for Silvertooth at Oka June 30th. So June 30th we have a fight. July 20th we have another fight. August we're having more fights, and then voila, that's all we're doing.
Okay, do you train and compete? Do you train and compete?
I train my guys, they compete.
Yeah.
I just turned 51. I don't look 51. My body don't
You
feel
don't.
51.
You do not look 51, man.
I want to show lift my t-shirt, then we're gonna be polite.
You're a legit dude. You're a legit dude. I can feel it and see it. Yeah.
And now you see, all that energy is keeping me young. It's like
It is.
I'm seeing some of my students, the Huberts and the Ben, still doing the same mistakes, and they half my age. I don't know what's happening in the Canadian water. It's like your generation are learning so slow. So this actually forcing me at, I need to check my knee to make sure that everything is fine. When everything will be fine, I believe everything is fine, I'm just gonna resume my fighting career because the federation that I was part of in Switzerland doesn't exist anymore. So officially, I have 0 records. Since I got used to the smoker and amateur, I want to have a record. So all the spleen and ideal and all that cultural stuff, little salty experience, got the martial artists and the program of kickboxing, boxing, Muay Thai, which Muay Thai became Olympic discipline, 2024 Olympics in France.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah, so
cool.
now-
Good. Good.
The funny thing is that I'm always 25 years ahead of everything. So what was a passion became now an Olympic discipline. I did not wait for Jake Paul to start making money and whatever to actually start training people to fight. So this is the little mindfulness within the culture of martial arts.
I'm hearing striking though. Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing. I love striking, and I didn't know this side too, so I'm excited to check it out on your Instagram. And I'm excited to see how you train and what's going on with movement. I knew about the artistic side. Well, and it is an art. I meant like music art. I knew about that, music art to you, and like speaking and just expressing yourself like that, and culture. I knew you were all about that. But I didn't know about the physical training and aspect.
Actually,
I
at
love that.
Bootlegger,
Yeah.
I've always been freestyling about chi, chakra, karma, energy, and I used a lot of my kung fu into my when I was rhyming because often locals, I'm not gonna be mentioning names, they use gun bars, they connected to the culture, and I believe Montreal, if you really analyze the Montreal culture, it's all about martial arts and movies.
Really?
Montreal, it's all about martial arts and movies. Shout out to the males. Shout out. We actually in the bridge, this area, we actually on the frontier of the old ports and Griffintown. 3 streets down over there, it's William. There's Rodeo Effects and MPC. Rodeo Effects, they've been doing Game of Thrones since season 3. And then even the Japanese movie called Shogun, TV show, the new version of Shogun 2024. Special effects has been done by Rodeo Effects. Shout out to you. So Montreal, it's all about special effects acting because Trudeau gave 48% off when they make a movie here, and at the same time Trudeau gave 48% off when they do special effects here. And this is one of the reasons since pre-COVID, but definitely in COVID, because everybody went to Netflix. At the end of every TV show that you watched, what do you see? Canada, Quebec, for that reason. All the Moon Knights, all the Avenger, all the last 3,000 TV shows that people been addicted on during COVID, all the special effects has been done in Montreal.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool that you know so much about what's going on in Montreal. That you know what you mentioned that Montreal is really the frontier of martial arts and movie, and you know where we're at. If it wasn't for you just telling me that, I actually didn't know that this quartier is all about motion picture and video creation. I know that people from France come here. I used to have a roommate that, he would explain to me that like graphic design, this is a big city for that kind of thing, for motion graphics. But I literally didn't know just around the corner is like where it's really happening in good time. So why are you leaving, man? What's going on? You just want to leave to unplug? You want to go to Japan? You want to go to Congo? Because that's where you're from. That's where you're at.
Yeah, this is where I'm at. Love is where your heart is. Oops, I just said it. So that means my love is in Japan. So I have to go where she is and enjoy existence and start starting a new cycle.
Yeah, where in Japan? Is it urban or
like it's Osaka, Kyoto, and alternating in between these two cities.
And you've been?
Actually, I've never been. I've been in Montreal ever since.
So this is gonna be your first trip?
It's gonna be my first trip in Japan after being the guardian of the Japanese culture by raising two boys into the way of the Bushido. They have Congolese, have Japanese. So I'm the, as the father, their maker, I'm the guardian of the Congolese identity and the Japanese identity.
I like how you talk.
And when you talk about Bantu, Mukongo, all the Jamaican, Trinidad, Tobago, West Indies, Caribbeans has been taken into the west coast of Africa. There is Angola. When we say Angola and Congo, it's one kingdom of Mukongo. And we are all Bantu going all the way to Togo, Gabon, Cameroon, till we meet the deserts. And where are you from, my brother?
Ethiopia. Eritrea.
And I was about to say
East Africa.
In Switzerland, I had a lot of Ethiopian and Eritrean friends. And when I saw you first,
we know just by looking.
Just by
where
looking.
Exactly. Habasha.
Respect. And now it's very interesting that we're having this conversation, because this is gonna be opening up into the oldest Christian Bible that you guys hold. And today, in 2024, let the truth be shared. We have to speak about the situation. But pause, we're gonna come back on this. So Ethiopia and Eritrea have a big place into the Pan-Africanism and everything, because but anyway, you ask a question. We're gonna pause this area, this topic, and we will come back. Or probably that could be another recorded conversation.
How young are your kids? Because you're saying your father. How old are you?
I'm 51, so my oldest son is 24. My youngest is about to turn 23.
I could be your son, man. Yeah, that's wild. So you have two kids, and they're both boys. They're both boys.
Two boys.
Yeah. Did you train them martial arts?
Since childhood, a tiger will the tiger, the wolf, the bear. For their offspring to become dominant bear, dominant tiger or something, they need to teach them how to become a tiger. And then everything that I do is to actually find my place into the hierarchy of my grandfather, my father, and myself. That's what the clash is about. They speak about the spirits, the father and the son. Since I got here, that's all I've been doing. And arts, many arts, it's the way to make sense out of it. Especially when things are not making sense. Now your pedigree, your pedigree is gonna kick in. You know who you are. If you tap into that inner self, you might be lost. Society will force you to be lost. Situation of life will force you to be lost. Now you have your DNA. In your DNA, you have all your Lord Stan Mabika Kumbukilu Tete Kitamba Havana is the name. But in the name there is all my ancestors, so therefore I cannot be lost or anything. And that sense of virtue and lineage are activated within the DNA. So the more art you practice, the more discipline you practice, you have to forget about who you are to grow within this art form. And after becoming comfortable in over 12 disciplines, every discipline that you do are connected to a chakra. We have 7 of them. And I can say the worst chakra to ever activate is the wisdom chakra, the purple, the cranium chakra. And this one get activated when you lose your father, your mom, and siblings, wife or something like that. So me, that was dad, mom, and baby, the sister were right after me. That kind of activated the wisdom chakra when all my chakras were already lit. So since 2000, I would say 2008, I kind of did reach art nirvana. In the beginning, there was nothing. Out of nothing, it became something. That's what the journey is about. That's why in some points I know applying the art of war, everywhere that you are, your feet are planted, you need to know everything. The history, what makes you into the place, what are the elements allowing you to be you, and how you can use your DNA, your chakras into the lens that you're in. And in Montreal, it became VFX, animation, martial arts, and music.
Yeah. I like how you're saying like honoring your lineage is so crucial, and art makes sense, makes it make sense, and like it's all about definition, defining for you, and giving yourself an intention, giving yourself
A purpose, a drive, an intention,
Yeah.
and also, let's say if I die tomorrow, I don't want to be, no, because I helped so many people, I did so many things, whether we appreciate me or we do not appreciate me, I actually have mindfulness, togetherness, Pan-Africanism, now the lineage and the pedigree start kicking in. What your grandfather has done for the village in colonial time, what your father has done for the country as a diplomat or as a politician, if you are that son and you're part of the spirit, the father, now you are a father and the son, so that means it's the same thing that you have to give to your children. To answer to your question, your family lives here in Canada?
Yeah.
Lucky man.
Yeah, so like they're the last people out, they're like the last generation out of Ethiopia and Eritrea. So before that, like my grandparents are from Ethiopia, great-grandparents are from Ethiopia, all the way to the beginning of humanity, like they're from that corner. So it's interesting. It's like when my parents and my aunts and uncles left Ethiopia, they're the first generation into the land of strangers. So now me and my parents...
Wait, can you repeat this again, please?
Yeah.
It's very important. Can you repeat that part, please?
Yeah, I really love where I come in my family lineage, because we're the first people born in the land of strangers. Yeah. So we're born in Montreal. I really like how, we're born here, but we have to listen to their stories, their upbringing, how they grew up, so that I can understand, where I'm from and like how things came to be. But, that's basically how I like to introduce myself. Yeah, I really love how, we're the first ones here, and I have to be willing to look like a fool in the land of strangers. I have to really.
Can you repeat this again, please?
Yeah, I'm speaking about social assertion, about being willing to risk, being willing to understand, being willing to communicate, being able to navigate. Growing up, my mother could hardly speak English or French, so it was me, my mother, and my sister going around saying, what does this mean? Where does that mean? There's no smartphones, there's no nothing. So we're talking to people, we're learning about this new world together. Mm-hmm. So that's how I describe my upbringing. There was like a lot of like, what does this mean? What are you saying? What do you mean? Mm-hmm. A lot of like, lost in translation. So that's the story of my life when I think about my upbringing, and I feel like I have a special responsibility to honor all those people, and I do it through art. Dark love, loving my darkness, dark love as in lineage love, dark matter. I do believe I'm the universe. It's a play on word. It's dark and matter, like my name matter. But so that's something that, all the things that you mentioned, these are really hitting home for me. And it's really important to keep yourself around people like you to remind yourself of these types of things. And you really do these things in your life. Like you're telling me, like you speak to your children about the kind of guidance that you're leaving them, and that, you really are proud of the guidance and the messages that you've created for them. And that if you leave, you'll be deeply satisfied because you did something meaningful for yourself, And, it's good that we're recording this, man, because, a lot of people can benefit from conversations like this. So this is an important thing to do. A lot of people can.
So, then I saw you, when you said this, you talked to me in a way, then I was like, there's going to be a heavy topic that we cannot record on audio. I always come prepared. I have my laptop, I have my cell phone and everything. The cell phone is a bit glitchy. When you're comfortable in more than 3 or 4 disciplines, you no longer talk to people. You read the energy. And then with all this conversation, I kind of read that you were open in 4 level of chakras. Then I'm like, we're going to have a deep conversation. Then I told you, we need to record this. Because I was like, we're going to be going so much in depth that we don't have time to take notes, and this should be a podcast. 49 Parallel is the sponsor, the location. 49 Parallels. It's not Café de Dépanneur, it's 49 Parallels. So we went into longitude and latitude under 24 minutes.
Yeah, we're doing good.
We're doing good.
Yeah, but I mean, I love how you immediately understood that I'm the kind of guy that appreciates substance, appreciates sharing, because the sharing energy really keeps the love alive in your body. You know, you said you're 51. I think there's a reason why you're youthful and you have joy in your life, and it's because you think like this and you really nurture your body with a good diet. You have a good diet.
So now, into everything that we spoke about, we need to enter into the dark part of it.
Cool.
The dark part of it is like Montreal, it's cosmopolite because we made Montreal cosmopolite. You did not. What you did is having you know who I'm talking about. The locals, the people that, whatever. So now you have the technology in North America, you have the land with all the in the church. We're not going to open that chapter. And then people from elsewhere coming, studying, having to go through that process and having cafes and restaurants and everything. That's where the exchange happened. Now, if you have children and they go to private school, that's interesting. But if you have children and they go to public school, it could be interesting. But public school, we're in Montreal, Quebec. So the public school will program your offspring to think as if you're Québécois. You're not Québécois. I'm not Québécois. My kids went to public school, so spirit, father and the son, I am a father, then I have sons. I had to share them. I had to share the Congolese identity through the culture, not sapology, but the traditional Congolese identity. But since I have had kids with a Japanese woman, it's actually the same. And since I understood the Bushido, the anime, we all grew up with Akira, Ninja Scroll and everything. So that's how I raised them. And then I knew like in some points when they'll be in high school or college, they will be lost. They will be going into phases. And then it will be important for them to know how to draw, to know how to sing or to freestyle, and to know how to defend themselves from whatever bullying that's gonna come. And that's literally the forbidden jutsu that are implemented into them. But in Africa, we've always been doing that as time goes by. And then voila, so my oldest son actually in some point refused to go to school since high school. And then in some points I already raised him into for 20 years into martial arts. Reflex timing, knowing your place into a place. Look at the streets, look at me, how many cars you look at me are coming. I saw 4 lights, watch again. Oh, there is 4 lights, congratulations. Being able to locate themselves. We're North America, so a lot of kids were kidnapped when they were growing up. My oldest son will have no problem since age of 5 for you to be able to snatch him and for him to it was something hard. But for my baby boy, I was afraid all the time. So I had to show tough love and play kung fu and play striking, and that's how I raised them. Drawing wise, when I was 17, 18, I used to date girls by drawing character on the jeans. And I share the same thing to my boys as well. And the other step, everything evolved every 20 years. So I'm born in a golden age of hip hop. I was the alpha in Geneva. Then I'm in Montreal. And since I was a father at the age of 26, I was like, in 20 years, these guys will be the next phase. So as I was changing diapers, I was putting the Jodeci jutsu, the R&B jutsu, the Kid Sweat jutsu, the Luther Vandross jutsu, and everything. And then even when I was changing diapers in 99, 2000, 2001, I was already singing Afrobeats and Afro House in Lingwala. So today, Burma Boy and so many people have the Thunder. They are the reference of the industry. But that's what has to do with what I love about Montreal, but what I hate about Montreal, because often it doesn't matter how advanced you are. When the cultural kicks in, it's often we need you to help us look good. What about me? You will see later. That's the dark and the ugly aspect of Montreal that I hate so much. VFX studios will be using that. Everybody will be using that. So now you need to know yourself, move away from depression, anxiety, all the negative stuff that everybody goes through all the time. Some people are mature that through arts they were able to have a discipline with martial arts to remove the trauma. But a lot of people are still living traumas. Their boss, their manager and everything, but they still have a 5-year-old insecure inside their stomach. We have to deal about people like that. Often you're gonna see they smoke a lot, they sniff a lot, they drink a lot, they eat too much. No discipline into the psyche, and then that happens. But ideally, in most society, we want to deal with mature people that got rid of the 5-year-old in them, and they're actually making peace with the 15 or the 20 years old in them. But we don't see that often, and often that's come to bite ourselves, because if we really root it into our tradition, we behave like men, we look like men, we speak like men, we behave like men. But if someone still have a little 5-year-old insecure, whatever, you know what kind of dynamic we're gonna have. And this is the love and hate relationship that I have with the city.
Yeah. I like how you said something that stands out is psychological discipline, and obviously what you're talking about with martial arts and expressing yourself is I picked up boundaries and just protecting yourself from the influence of fear, the influence of just like false narratives, the influence of other people just trying to give you the wrong idea of who you are. And if you don't have those boundaries, if you don't have the psychological discipline, if you don't know how to protect yourself, then you will lose that connection with your lineage. Like you'll lose that connection with who you truly are. Mm-hmm. So these things, like to me, it's like taking a shower. I consider it like hygiene. I consider it like something that you need to do daily, something that you need to do so that you are still clean, something that you need to do so you have clarity.
So fashion, so clean. It's not only a song. Can you repeat what you just said again?
Yeah, just mastering clarity, and making it a lifestyle to master your clarity. And having good influences around you, because if it wasn't for influences like you or other people who are contributing to culture in a positive way and trying to assist you into getting stronger, then of course there's so many distractions that are really seductive. I think anybody can be tempted into drinking or smoking, even at Cypher. Like even at Cypher, you saw how, of course it's a great environment for artists to express themselves and keep a good perspective of the culture alive, but there's so much drinking, there's so much substance abuse, there's still those types of things that are prevalent and obviously hurt people, and get distracted, right? So it just kind of takes away from the things that people created, it takes away from, it sounds like you want to add something because it does like look like you're...
So I've been in Montreal since 98, and I've been part of every movement that makes Montreal. To add into what you said about the Cypher and these guys, is like there was a little bit of alcohol, mainly smoking, but everything was healthy other than that. Other parts of Montreal, that was cocaine, ecstasy, speed, and all this kind of stuff, and I still see them today. And they're like, you haven't changed. What is your secrets? And what allows me to stay young? Creativity, martial arts, and the first love that I had, stepping on stage and performing. These are the 3 elements that I still keep in me. If you keep that and you keep feeding that, at the age of 51, you're still gonna be behaving like that. When you get rid of that and you become too serious, you have your mortgage, you have your this and your that, you start having triple chin, triple this, wrinkles that you don't need, hair that, I'm 51 after all, and then all this kind of stuff. And then you can see it's like, bro, what happened to you? I'm still tapping into my original vibration, oneness, togetherness, and we're coming back into the same thing, the culture.
But also the stars behind your eyes. Like some people, you can see it in their pupils, like they died. They really are dead. And man, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing a little bit about like who you are a little more deeply. I know we've spoken before, But yeah, man, like whenever we bump into each other, it's always like a good assumption. You can expect good things. Like, you know, it's like you're a safe person to say great things to. And yeah, man. Yo, I'm glad to be checking you out. Like, this is good that we did this immediately. So, I mean, do you want to close with anything, or do you want to say, yeah?
So that means last time we saw each other, that was literally 4 years ago.
That was, yeah, it was COVID-ish, yeah.
We're going on, because this is the 5th year since last time we saw each other. And actually, after not seeing each other for 5 years, we dropped this. This is the new Montreal, and I salute you.
Man.
So you understand martial arts, you're more than welcome to go to Bassin Peel Street.
Yeah, I know where it is, outside at the de la Commune gym.
De la Commune, under the bridge.
Yeah.
I do gymnastic over there.
Okay.
Boxing and kickboxing.
Yo, man, I'm there too.
So you
Let's
have
exchange
yourself
contacts. Let's exchange contacts.
10 classes. Just come, train, and then voila. And whoever person that is interested to do gymnastic, not calisthenic, gymnastic. Shout out to the Olympic 2024. Gymnastic and boxing, kickboxing, Kyokushin, and Wing Chun Jet Kundo under the bridge. The classes are Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m.
Okay.
But I got you if you want to do private one-on-one, if you can survive 1 hour with me. Trust me, if you're 50, you should look like me.
And this is all before you go to Japan. So like, this is a kind of a time-sensitive message.
Exactly.
You want to do it, then friggin' do it. That's what it is. All right, cool, fantastic. Yeah, let's exchange numbers. I mean, I want to